The trauma of being sexually assaulted still haunts Kate 7 years later.
I don't know why this is hitting me today.
Kate's case, along with hundreds more, paused, waiting for her rape kit to be processed. Sexual assault is an especially personal, violent crime, and unlike other crime victims, coming forward often means undergoing an invasive, emotionally charged exam.
When you go to get a rape kit done, you're going to a hospital oftentimes, and then you have to wait for an on-call forensic nurse to come.
Kate says it took 8 hours waiting for the nurse, then the actual testing, her clothes taken from her body treated as evidence.
You are telling the forensic nurse exactly what happened to you in very great detail, and that was something that I personally was not prepared to do and ready to do at that time.
And what came next, she says, was even harder.
It took over, I think, 1.5 years for it to be tested the first time, and then there were subsequent rounds of testing that took extra months, and I think the full process was around 2 years.
Kate's assault happened in Tucson, but Arizona's family found survivors in Phoenix face similar obstacles. In July 2023, Phoenix PD admitted they had 835 rape kits that hadn't been tested.
Arizona's family has learned there's a major backlog of sex crime evidence.
The next month, city leaders approved $3.4 million to address the backlog, paying outside labs to process more kits.
There's new hope tonight for sex assault victims here in the Valley.
We followed up with Phoenix PD. As of October 31st, they say the backlog is down to 515 kits. That includes testing 675 new kits that have come in.
All of this creates this perception for certain survivors that I've spoken to that their situation doesn't matter to Phoenix PD. What would you say to those survivors?
I get that perception when a backlog, 15 months ago was at 835. We understand that. We understand that was an issue we needed to solve.
Sergeant Rob Shear says staffing remains a problem. 8 of the 28 positions in the forensic DNA section of their lab remain vacant. They tell us finding the right people will take time.
That hiring process is upwards of 6 months. The training process is 24 to 30 months. I mean, you're talking potentially 3 years from really that recruitment element to realizing the benefit within our lab of that person.
What do you make of the numbers?
I'm excited that some of the kits have been tested. Any progress is good progress. However, it's just not enough.
As the head of the Arizona Coalition to End Sexual and Domestic Violence, Jenna Panis advocates for survivors like Kate. She argues Phoenix PD could be doing more. Right now, they're the only law enforcement agency in the state not using Track Kit. The program uses a barcode to track exactly where a rape kit is. Survivors can get that information real time.
During those 2 years, did you know where your rape kit was in the process? Did the detectives keep you updated, or was there a system to track where it was?
Not at all, no. And that was one of the parts that was the most frustrating about it.
According to DPS's latest annual report, 229 survivors logged on to the Track Kit system 1,200 times to view the progress of their kit. The state even pays for it, meaning it would be free to Phoenix.
Why isn't Phoenix PD using that program?
So we have our own process, and I get the notion of wanting to see where your kid is at all times. We have a process through contacting our detectives, and we're up to that communication element legally.
Phoenix Police Department has launched.
Instead, Phoenix Police are creating their own tracking program, which will provide updates, they say, for all crime victims, including information on rape kits. But Panis has concerns, sharing emails with Arizona's family revealing police said its program would be online this fall. Then it was pushed back to January. But when we asked about it,
I don't have a time frame on that.
Kate's ordeal ultimately led her to get a PhD in public health. Her dissertation focused on the experiences of sexual assault survivors.
Were you ever able to get justice in your case?
In ways, not through the criminal system. That did not work well for me.